Good morning, YouTube. It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It's February 1st. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. It is Monday, of course, and today we're talking about the patience pit. And our scripture comes from Psalms 40 and 1, and the morning version is the TPT version, and the evening version of Psalms 40 and 1 is the NCV version. And immediately when I saw the title of today's devotion, I thought about something my mom always said, and that is never, ever, 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 ever pray for patience. um, and you know, I just always took it to heart. I always took it to heart, and now that I'm a woman of a certain age, and I've lived and I've had experiences, I get what she's saying, and that you don't even want that kind of test in your life. Like, you don't even want it, right? But let's see what this title is trying to say to us in terms of our daily living and our daily walk, okay? Psalms 40 and 1 reads, I waited and waited and waited some more, patiently knowing God would come through for me. Wow, that's powerful. Come on now. Come on now. I don't really know anybody right now. Anybody breathing that's not waiting on something, whether it's a stimulus check or to hear back from a job, to hear from a medical professional, maybe about themselves or a loved one, or just flat out waiting to hear from the Lord himself, not necessarily the manifestation of his grace and his blessings and his overflow, okay? But for himself, I don't know anybody that's not waiting on something, you know what I mean? And so waiting is something you can get used to real quick, right? And it could be to the point where you forget what it was you initially asked for sometimes. And sometimes it can be very infuriating, especially if you're impatient, right? Because you want things when you want things. And God's time is not our time. But let's see what our text is telling us today. It says, let's be honest. We're not that good at waiting for anything these days. Yet the reality is that waiting is a necessary part of life. We wait for people, we wait for events, we wait for desires to be fulfilled. But do we recognize that waiting might also apply to our emotional lives? Do we hold on to hope that we can be rescued from a troubled heart? Do you feel as though your emotions are on slippery ground, or that your thoughts are stuck in miry clay? Are you willing to wait patiently for the great rescuer to lift you up and place your feet on solid ground? Take a moment today to ask God for his help. Recognize the necessity of waiting and trust him for the rescue. And then our prayer for today says, Lord, I need your help today. I am not sure what this day is going to look like, but I trust that you will be right alongside me. And then let's go on and jump into our evening devotion. Psalms 40 and 1 from the NCV version says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful because in this version, it's like he turned to me and heard my cry, which means, my faith, my patience, my it got his attention. And he not only heard, he turned to me and heard me. I don't know. It's something about the wording there that is powerful to me. You guys tell me what you think about this version of Psalms 40 and 1. But our text reads, King David described himself as being in a pit of miry clay. Likely another of his despairing moments, perhaps even on reflection of his sins. He needed to be rescued, not necessarily from his enemies, but from his state of mind. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whoo! Come on now. Oh wow. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh boy. Mm-mm-mm. Whoo, I got to take a minute with that, boy. I tell you what. Oh boy, boy. Huh. Whoo, Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. David says he waited patiently, understanding that he might not be instantly rescued, and he trusted that God alone would save him. And then our prayer today is, God, I felt like I needed a little rescuing today. Thank you that in those times you bend down and you listen to my cry. As I go to sleep tonight, help me to be patient for my rescuer. Let me say something here too. I want us to remember that he always hears us. But because of his will and because of our will and because a lot of times things may be teaching moments, teachable moments, an opportunity to impart something to us, an opportunity for us to grow, to change, to turn, or to learn. He may not come right away. The song says he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time, right? So I want us to be clear that God always hears us, but there used to be a song that says, he knows all about my troubles and he knows what is best for me. And sometimes it is not best for us to be immediately swept out of a thing, immediately rescued from a thing, right? Sometimes we must endure and we must persevere. Okay? That is important. But we must do it in a way that honors God. Not knowing when he's coming, but knowing that he is coming, that he will come. Not knowing that it's going to be quick or painless or any of those things. We once we make our petitions, once we say our prayers, once we cry aloud, then we must then begin to trust in faith that God hears all, knows all, and he is concerned for us. That's very, very key, okay? Because it goes back to that state of mind. And I'm talking to myself here, okay? I'm talking to me. Goes back to that state of mind where the enemy will tell you that he does not hear, that he does not care, that it you don't deserve it. Something that you've done this is why you're being punished. You're not good enough. You're not, you know, whatever, whatever that comes through our mind, which is why we have to continually stay in a place of faith and believing. My mama used to say, you got to know down in your knower. And we have to realize, too, that we must believe God even if we never see it. We must trust God even if we never see the manifestation of some things that we've been waiting for, right? If we never physically see it ourselves. Sometimes the things that we ask for are for the next generation. The things that, the grace that I live under now, the blessings that I have now, maybe some things that my mom prayed for. My mom prayed for herself and it was manifested with me. My mom prayed for over her children. And because we don't talk about everything all the time, she may not know that those things have manifested with me. But when she prayed for it, when she asked for it, she trusted God that he would do it. And he has. And he has. Let me tell you something. The thing about waiting is we must trust and we must believe. We must trust and we must believe. You know, and we must stay active. Sometimes our faith must be active. It's not just, oh, I'm sitting here and I'm believing. But a lot of times it must be active. We ask God for something. We believe it. We trust it. And then we set our feet to going, our hands to going, to moving. Because for every one step we make, we know God will make two. Come on now. Come on now. Okay, y'all. I hope y'all are having a good Monday morning. I hope you guys enjoyed this February 1st devotion as much as I did. I hope it edifies you and feeds you and speaks to you in some sort of way, because there is longevity in this scripture. There is it kind of anchors you in a way. You know what I mean? It becomes a resource and a tool, this scripture. Okay? And when you feel as though your back is against the wall, you have a tool here, a resource that you can call upon and know for sure that he will turn and he will hear your cry. Okay? All right, you guys have a wonderful day. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And until next time, honeybees, I'll holla.